Just a quick story about Malta last week. I was in Malta last week, and my neighbour has a friend who had a broken grandfather clock. So this friend said to me, "Robert, will you please come to my house and fix my clock?" And I thought, oh my God, because fixing clocks is really difficult. So because she was an acquaintance and because she was a very good friend of my neighbour, I felt obliged to say yes. So I said, yes, I'll come and fix your clock. So I went to her house down the road and we made a time, and I went to see her. And I went into the hallway and she showed me her clock, and it was a little Georgian clock, meaning 1820 oak clock with an enamel face with the word Yves Chamon, which is a town near where I'm from. It had a sliding hood, a door like they all do, 2 pillars, and an added crest, which I told her was recent. It had the trunk, the door, the plinth, and it was about 1820 in age, worth about £150. They were worth more 20 years ago. So what had happened is she was jangling around. She had been jangling around with the chains, because it's a weight pulling a chain down very slowly that winds it up as it goes. So one of the wheels had fallen over and got tangled. So I fixed the weight, which was a rapid fix, and then the chains and the mechanism were in the wrong place. So I looked in and put the chains back, and the pendulum luckily worked. The little filament at the top wasn't broken. So damn thing started, which was a miracle. And we checked the time, and it kept the right time. So she was really happy, and she gave me a bottle of wine for fixing it, which I accepted. So the story though has a twist. Obviously it's interesting to see other people's houses, and obviously she was proud to show off her house because it's a lovely house, and she showed me around this house. And the house in the town centre was a townhouse, but previously it would have been a farmhouse on its own with its own land. And in one of the ground floor rooms, on the ground floor, there was a small chamber about 10 or 15 foot square with really strong arches made of stone. And on the one wall there was a manger at about waist height, and on another wall there was a very low manger, knee height, and there were all the iron fittings where beasts were tied up. So it was a stable, now a dining room or something, but in the old days it was a stable. She said to me she'd been told the room was 15th century, sort of pre-Knights era. So she showed me around the house. I looked at this room and she suggested it's a stable, and it was incredible. It was a stable like in sort of Jesus, it's sort of like a Jesus nativity crypt type building. But what caught my eye was there was a slot on the floor. In the corner there was a slot that big with a slightly arched top. I'd never seen one before. So I said to her, what is that for? She said, I've been told that in years gone by, the Maltese would get the dung from the animals, and they would put it in the cellar. They'd slide it through the hole down a chute, heap it up in the cellar, and the Maltese would use it to create heat in the winter. So I thought, well, it must have smelt terrible, but thinking about it, it would have provided heat. And I have not seen it anywhere in Malta before, and I don't suppose she was making it up. Someone will have told her. It was just a very interesting thing. So having, on one hand, not wanted to go to see the lady because I was busy, and didn't really wanted to start getting into clocks with her. Having said I'd go, I did fix it for her. She gave me a bottle of wine. I had a walk, which is good for me, and I learned something else about Malta. I learnt about these slots in the floor and this dung central heating they used to have. Okay, that's it. Thank you.